to me earlier that you watched the video from last time. I was playing it in the background while I was getting ready. And I was like, yeah, man, we're all different. Like, everybody's different.
Oh, isn't it crazy what a year can do?
Gosh, yes.
It's something else.
It was just impactful. Like, I think in that stream, like, I know I was nervous and you looked nervous and Marconin was not there because we couldn't get his video. And so it's just this whole thing of just like, oh.
Well, at least I have video this time.
Right? I know. We got video working this time, which is amazing.
Which means we're objectively ahead. Also,
and I'm not jumping around like last week, am I? Because your video feed is looking good. Jules, is mine fine?
Yours is good.
Good.
Here had some laggy weirdness, but everybody seems to be flowing well today.
Good.
Yep.
So now let's see if we're live. Are we live yet? Chat room? Are you there?
Don't you hate it when you're like when you hit start stream and it doesn't start?
I hate it.
Some
so
days
much,
I have to do it like 3 times.
Ugh.
Anyway. Oh, we're here.
Yay! There we go.
Right.
Oh my goodness, that look cute.
You do look adorable. Are you kidding? Hi guys.
Hey everybody.
Look who's back again. Look who's back. We need that.
Hey, Bim.
Oh, I'll do this. This is the CBS special presentation of Oddish Plays Games.
Wait.
Did it come through?
No,
The first note did. It just went.
Okay. Well, it works for me, and the stream can hear it. Oh gosh, I love we never get to see the green screen too, like the green sheet.
The green sheet, yeah, right.
It's awesome.
Super low budget.
Hey,
it works though.
Hey,
it works
yeah.
amazingly, and someday, and you made it yourself, which is even better. So it's the most awesome thing.
Yeah.
Oh goodness! Hi chat room, how you guys doing tonight? How's everybody doing?
Evening, folks.
I see Lexa, I see Bim, I see 20. How are you guys?
Hello.
Raise your
Lexa.
voices and say hello.
Raise the roof. Is that still cool to say?
I don't
Is
know.
that still hip?
You're kind of lame.
Oh, no.
It's kind of lame. Well,
Hi,
I take that back.
Chaos.
Nothing is lame, ever.
Let's
Hi,
do a slow
Faye.
raise the roof just to make it more funny.
Hey, it's Faye. Hi, Faye.
I'm excited to see Faye. She is such a... I love watching Faye compete because every time she plays a mage, I'm just like, come on, Faye. Just show us all the sparkle. Show us all the sparkle because she's got it all.
Faye is really awesome. Can confirm.
Yes. Hi, Clago. Welcome. We're super
Got some
stoked.
Oddish.
I know. I love this. Oddish, raise your voices and say hi. I'm so glad to have you guys
Welcome.
here. This is going to be like super hype because last year Oddish didn't have her stream yet. Are you just started?
I started pretty maybe just a month or two.
Yeah, like it was very, very close. So the community was just in its like fledgling state, and it was and it has grown so much. Oh, it's Black Widow. This is our writer right here for the letter today. So Froggy Chaos, welcome.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Welcome.
So I have been informed, chat room, that my sounders unfortunately play for you just fine. They play for me just fine. But for the lovely two of them, they don't get to hear it. So, if they're dancing along, it's because they're great sports.
Don't tell them. This is the magic of radio and video.
Oh my goodness. I forgot how amazing your radio voice is, Marconin, by the way.
Thank you.
He is
really
one of
appreciate
those
that.
like super like smooth. Well, and then he gets bring it down low.
How low? Like even lower.
Yes.
That's I remembered at the Warlords of Draenor voice panel a couple of BlizzCons ago. Michael Richardson, I think is his name. He does the voice of Cleveland Jr. on the Cleveland Brown show or Cleveland Joe.
Yeah.
He's also the voice of Grom Hellscream, and they was like, somebody was like, how did you get the voice for a groundhouse scream right after he did Cleveland's voice. So he's in one moment he's like, "Daddy, will you wipe me?" And he's like, "How you doing, Daddy?" Like that kind of Cleveland Jr. voice. And he's like, "Well, I just kind of did this like angry voice, and then I took it lower, and then I took it lower and lower," and he was just like radiated. Because I can get kind of low, but it doesn't reverb as well as his does. It was just like I could almost see the waves going out, and I was just kind of like, "Oh yes." Loved it.
You can see the voice sitting there.
Thank you.
Basked in it, absorbed its power.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes. I need all of the voices. Please give me your voices.
Look at all those oddites in the chat room. Welcome, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming. We're super
Thank you
excited
for joining us.
to have Steph with us again. And this one is going to
You're
be
very-
a fun one. She's going to
you're
help
very
some
hap-
people. She's going to inspire some people.
You're very happy for you all to be here.
I hope so. Yeah,
Hi,
you love the
Colin.
pride heart. I am super proud of having, like, to my knowledge, it's the only trans pride emote on Twitch.
Yeah.
And, I'm super proud of it. Anyway, yes.
You that was one of the first emotes that you added when your channel went to partnership, right?
It was. Yes, yes.
That it's super cool. Trans pride all the way. I have that heart too. I'm just gonna put that in there too. I love your emotes like so much.
Thank
It's
you.
so
Thank you.
we're gonna do that in there. Yay. Twitch noobs, welcome. This is Twitch is like it is a language. It is a language to learn. If it kind of like for me for a while, like I didn't understand when I first started using Twitch what PogChamp 1 was, what Dan's game was.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't know what any of that is.
Yeah,
I'm still a Twitch noob.
it's like, and it's, I don't even know the origins, to be completely honest. I just know that people use them,
Yeah.
and I know that they're like high, well-known streamers or profile people within Twitch who kind of originated them.
Yeah.
And so I sound really old.
So, like, when someone comes up to you and says a statement ends with the word Kappa, what does that mean?
Exactly.
Is that one of them online Twitch words?
Yes.
I mean, when I started streaming, I didn't know what Kappa was.
Yeah.
Actually.
I read an
Yes.
article about the guy and his face and like where they got the face photo from. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. But then it just became the thing, like all these internet things do.
See, and now, okay, there was a great example of it today for Heroes of the Storm. They actually did, the actual Heroes of the Storm website tweeted or sent out an article about what 323 is, for the meme 323 that comes from Heroes of the Storm. And if you ever
Yeah,
watch
what is that?
Yeah, if you ever watch a hot stream, an esports stream, and there's a pause or player has to pause, everybody types 323. And it came from a tournament, an online tournament, or actually it was a LAN tournament in Vegas. And the observer dropped their keyboard, and in the dropping, there was a 323 that typed in there. Steph, I think your camera froze. There we go.
Yeah, no, my Skype totally messed up.
Oh, gosh.
It looks like I'm back. Yeah,
It looks
totally
like you're
back.
moving.
Okay.
I was like, I'm like, Steph, are you moving?
A little concerned. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess it's stabilized.
Yeah.
I was just typing your Discord, like, oh no, my thing
shit.
broke.
My thing broke. Yes. I see it there. I don't have my notifications on Skype or on Discord activated because I don't want it to pop in while I'm doing the stream. But
Smart.
yeah, but I'll keep it kind of tucked in the corner here. So if there is something that comes up, you can tell me. Like that.
Yeah. The Oddish had to reboot a little bit.
She's like starting to reboot. She had a really deep thought, like face going on right there. Oh my gosh! See, so now Faye has all the insight. She knows that you were at that tournament, weren't you, Faye? That was the Vegas one from September. Cognitive versus Cloud9, I believe. I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to that stuff. Like, it's like kind of a word, like a big old nerd. She was there.
We all have our things,
I
Jules.
do.
We
I
all
know.
have them.
I know. All right, I'm going to ready check the chat room. You guys, are you ready for poll?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Type 1 for fun.
I wish the audio sounders would work, so then you could play like that basketball game intro theme thing, and then I can do the announcer thing for it again, because that was fun.
That was fun. I'm gonna ask Kalani to help me out with that, because I don't know. Like, it works fine for the stream. It hits the recording fine. It's just whatever routes through Skype is just borked. So
yeah, I'm not sure why. And see, whenever like when we do the outro, whenever you start talking during the outro, it comes back.
It comes back up.
It comes back up when you start. So I'm thinking maybe somewhere in the tubes, Skype is thinking that the music is background.
Yeah.
And so it mutes it automatically when you're not talking.
Right. I think
I'm thinking maybe that's why
visitor.
it's like, it's so smart, it's stupid.
I know. Come here. You want to come say hi? I'm getting beggy eyes. Come here. Come say hi and do your thing. Okay.
You have food?
I've already fed them. He just wants attention. That's all.
Don't we all?
Yes, we all want to be petted.
Well, can't argue with that.
Oh, see, and you guys can see him.
That's why I'm glad we have this other camera, because I can see Garrus just like sashaying away.
Yeah, that's the little
looking
guy.
at things. And away he goes.
Bye, buddy. Come back later. All right.
Hey, Mom.
Is Mark Conan blushing? Yes, of course he is 20. Like, what do you think?
You say that like you're surprised.
You're saying like he doesn't have a blush in his life. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
All right. Are you folks ready? Are you ready, my friends?
Yes.
Steph, are you ready? All right, let's do this. Counting down, Tauren Think Tank, episode 224, records now, starting in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the podcast about the Blizzard gamer behind the keyboard.
It's episode 224 of Tauren Think Tank. Today is Thursday, March 23rd of 2017. It's 8:06 p.m. Central Daylight Time. I keep forgetting daylight time. My name is Jules, and with me, as always, is Mark Conan. Hello, Mark Conan.
Hey, Jules. How are you?
I'm wonderful because we have a special guest returning back to the show. She's just swooning at the moment because she's so special. And I'm embarrassing her already. Please welcome back our friend and former guest of the show, Steph, aka Oddish. Hi, Steph.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
We had Oddish
Thank you
on.
for having me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Thank you for
excited.
coming.
We've been talking about this for ages, and we saw each other at PAX South, and we had a great conversation, and we were like, we got to get you back on the show. And as it turned out, we had the best opportunity to do so with a listener letter that came in that's just perfect. And if you haven't heard of this lovely lady, let me tell you a little bit about her. We did have her on the show last year, about a month past this point, so almost a year. We're very close. And in that time, she had broken out in the Heroes of the Storm scene by playing Heroes of the Dorm, and her Stitches play was phenomenal. She also came out as transgender right around that time as well, as part of all of that. And in subsequent time was just encouraged like crazy on Reddit to come stream on Twitch and show us more about her awesome gameplay. And from that has built this amazing community of what we all call as Oddites. I am a proud member of that team. She is now Twitch partnered as of November, and has almost 250 subscribers. Is that correct?
Actually, over.
Did you go over?
We've crossed it. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm at 270 right now.
270 subs in less than 6 months. It's incredible. It's incredible what you've done. And
it's something else. Yeah.
So how does it feel sitting in this chair once again after a year and looking at life now?
Oh, wait, that's a huge question.
Is it?
It really is, because I've completely changed from a year ago.
Really?
You know, I feel like I've grown as a person. I'm way more confident now. When I started my stream, I had also just started hormones.
Yeah.
And now, you know, I've gotten more used to estrogen. Been about a year. I don't think anyone ever gets used to estrogen, but you
Us
know,
girls don't
I'm
ever
working my
get
way
used
there.
to it.
No. But yeah, and being Twitch partnered, you know, my stream when it first started, I felt like I was doing an okay job, but looking back, I had like a very bad mic quality and very bad like production value, and so it's all about slow and steady progress. And I've seen myself improving and getting better and stronger, and it's wonderful to reflect on how far I've come.
It really is amazing, you know, and we all start somewhere when it comes to technology and skill and comfort level with sitting in front of a camera for 4 to 5 hours at a time, talking to people on the internet who don't know you. And what did you think would happen when you started streaming? Like from what you see now to what started, what did you think would happen?
Okay, so to recap the timeline, I was on Heroes of the Dorm. I was currently in my master's program for chemistry. I was teaching students and that kind of thing. I knew I was trans, but I couldn't like come out because I felt like it would be way too difficult to present female for my students.
Yeah.
Like that's it felt like a lot to explain to them, even though I probably could have. Anyway, I did Heroes of the Dorm, and I kind of became the crowd favorite somehow. Which was wonderful. And it was actually really cool. And Here's the Dorm. Okay, so sorry, my mind is everywhere.
It's
all the
okay.
time.
It's all right.
But
All right.
in the top 64 of Here's the Dorm, you had to send in personal information as well as your academic eligibility and all this. And one of the questions was gender. And here I am, like, I was just at the point in my life where I really wanted to start like embracing the fact that I was trans, and so I put female gender, and then I wrote an email to Gillyweed. I didn't know who Gillyweed was at the time, but I knew she was like one of the head casters there. I was like, "Hey, I'm trans. So I let you know, like, if you could please use she/her pronouns." She sent me an email back that was super supportive and wonderful, and after that point, I was kind of committed, right?
You were in.
I was committed, and so I came out on Facebook like soon after, so my friends wouldn't be all confused watching me, and it was a lot. It was a lot.
It was a lot.
But
Yeah.
it was wonderful
Yeah.
too. And then on Reddit, there was the front page of Here's the Storm. One of the top posts was entitled "Dear Oddish," and in it was an outpouring of support from the Here's the Storm community, telling me that they wanted me to stream or go pro or just stay in the community after my team had got eliminated from the tournament. And I took that as a sign. I went for it.
Yeah.
I started streaming, and I really didn't think it was possible. I really didn't think it was possible for someone who's trans, and that doesn't pass very well to stream. But it turns out the Heroes of the Storm community is wonderful. I met some of the most amazing people ever, Jules included, that like really, really supported me and embraced me and like kept me safe and protected me, and enabled me to do this and be here. So I've been here ever since. I dropped out of my master's program. I full-time stream. And I'm super happy that I've been able to do this.
Yeah. When you
Definitely.
talk about what you've done and the master's, like a lot of people will ask you, you know, you were in school, Heroes of the Dorm, and now you're not in school anymore. And, you know, you get a lot of questions like, do you really think it was the right thing for you to do? And your answer is always without question.
Oh, no question at all. I'm here on the internet. I'm free to be myself. Like I was able to transition. I was able to be vulnerable, and most importantly, I've been able to inspire other people to be authentic. Because when I get on my soapbox, I do it often on stream. I really believe that the authentic version of yourself is the strongest. The version of you where you second guess yourself the least is the most efficient and therefore the most powerful. And there is strength in just accepting who you are and being the squishy human that we all are underneath, but too often have barriers in front of us. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does make sense.
I when I watch your stream, because I often will log into Oddish's stream. She streams from my time. It's 2 to 6 p.m. So I'm usually working for most of that, and I have her on in the background as I'm doing other things. And so while she's waiting for the next game to start, have her conversations with our chat room, and there is always an inspirational discussion going on about being authentic, about being real, and about being who you are. But so many people come to you in their chat room and ask you, how did you become so comfortable being who you are? How do you tell them? Like, what do you tell them? I want you to say this because I get to hear it, but a lot of these people who are listening to our show don't.
Oh, actually, I don't know where to start with that answer right now. I mean, being yourself and accepting yourself is a long process.
Yeah.
I think, because we build these barriers very, very early in our lives, where we try to be who we are, and then someone bullies us or mocks us or even looks at us weird, especially if they're an authority figure, and we repress that part of ourselves, and we try to act differently to blend in. The turning point in my life was several years ago when I started really questioning who I was and authenticity and that kind of thing. I really didn't know I was trans 3 years ago, but I had a notebook that I wrote in, and I tried to jot stream of consciousness introspection into my notebook, and I realized there were times where I would write something that was more what I wanted the truth to be than the truth. Which kind of, I mean, that was really, really scary at the time, but also was on the path to me finding who I really was, to, accept yourself even in privacy. People, I was not accepting myself even to myself, which is absurd. I was too shy to admit things to myself, and I think we all do that to some extent.
Mm-hmm. It's very true, and I think everyone goes on that journey of discovery, and it doesn't stop.
Right.
I'm still on that path. I'm still working and discovering things about myself that I used to say I would never be or never do or never think, and so it doesn't end when you're in your teens or your 20s or your 30s. I'm in my 40s, and it still happens, guys. So it still happens.
Existence is a really weird thing.
Yeah.
And what we have, especially as humanity, with the internet, our iPhones, we can't even comprehend what it is to create the world around us. But to so many people, it's just oh, this is just how things are, and they don't really take a closer look.
It's so true. And I on the other side of it, you also have to fight against preformed beliefs about those who are trans and negative opinions, negative reactions, people who come just to say terrible things. And you fight that every day when you stream. How do you keep going with positivity in the face of all of that?
I just really, really believe in the universe, and I believe that we can embrace love and light and at the core of every human is goodness and love and light, and that living can be hard. Sometimes just getting out of bed is an accomplishment for a lot of people. And so we need to be lifting each other up as much as we can, because life sucks. Life is really, really difficult all the time, but there's also so much beauty to behold. It's not just art, but moments can be absolutely beautiful, and we should be proud of our ability to appreciate art. And then sometimes it's just spite. Sometimes I find motivation in the fact that I will smile despite the fact that I have stones hurled at me, and people want to bring me down, and people are trying to undermine me and hurt me. They're wrong. Those people are broken. Those people, it's not, I don't think it's a normal human thing to go into a random internet Twitch stream and harass the person talking, that's the kind of thing someone who is who has been hurt themselves does.
Yeah. And I mean, it happens even in this chat room, which is a small functioning member of the Twitch community. And it happens to us, I mean, we've both been called names. We've been called terrible things because people just will come in and that's how they choose to spend their time. And
it's a true shame, isn't it?
It really is. And, I mean, Marcona and I have both gotten feedback from people who have been trolly and mean, and you go, well, it's, you just have to try to shake it off. But at the same time, especially, so one of the things that Steph has a lot of times is when her stream is on the launcher for BattleNet. And so there's featured times where her stream will be featured on the rotating pictures of the launcher if you choose Heroes of the Storm, which always results in a very different audience coming to watch the stream than it would be from a normal stream day, quote unquote.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the people who are in the chat room kind of know, oh, it's quote unquote launcher day.
Well, my last launcher day, I had 850 viewers.
Wasn't that insane?
Wow.
And my normal audience is anywhere between 100 and 200. And oh my goodness. So like my audience, I feel like getting crushed by these like new people that are coming in, and a lot of them are offensive, unfortunately, and a lot of them are confused. But and it turns out you have to be pretty open-minded. Well, I don't think it's that open-minded, but society thinks you're pretty open-minded for accepting a trans person, because you have to both be okay with someone being homosexual, and you have to be okay with you have to not be sexist.
Yeah.
So it's like trans people sit on this like the combination of both of those. So anyway, we don't have to get too. I mean, we could, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think we can get actually into that when we get into the question. I think that discussion comes into play a little bit more too.
Yeah.
Oh
I wanted to ask you too what your community has meant to you this last year.
Oh my goodness. My community is, I mean, they're my world, right? Like I cannot stream, I cannot exist. My signal doesn't propagate without my community, and I couldn't be sitting here without my community. So my community really, really does mean everything to me. And I also do really believe my community is something magical, because since I'm an easy target for hate, it's a sort of filter. So people that have issues with me don't stick around in my community, and so I'm left with open-minded, empathetic, helping. Like, it's when sometimes people ask for help in my Discord with an issue or something, and the Oddites come out to help that person. I can't believe that these people have, and so many people have rallied behind me and my message and want to help me and protect me. I could go on and on.
Do you have any stories of meeting your community in person, things that have really inspired you to keep going?
PAX East was wonderful, because at PAX East, one of my moderators, Elfanari, had a kind of dorm housing situation where all his roommates had moved out, and he was within driving distance of the convention center.
Oh, wow.
So at PAX East, we all, like 6 Oddites, stayed at his place and drove like in and out from PAX, and I had a community meetup for the first time. And I don't know, perhaps it's bad to say, but I was worried that there would be some bad apples in the group. I was worried that people weren't going to get along. I was worried that their personalities would clash. Yeah. But literally 100% of the Oddites I met, I liked. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought they were wonderful people. And I was surprised every time, and I was super excited to meet new ones. And every time someone would stop me, it was just like, I got giddy about it, because I got to meet another person in my community. And I kind of knew by default that they were going to be awesome. So
They really have become like a family for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it's, so I wanted to, a lot of times we get questions from people, and I think that you're a really good person to ask this, or to, ask of this, how you foster and maintain such a positive community, and what kind of things, like, what's your method in keeping a community thriving in a positive way and not letting it go down a road of negativity or strife?
Well, I think especially on Twitch, your community is a reflection of you very often. Like attracts like in terms of personality.
Yeah.
So, and also one of the oddite, I forget what we call them, but basically the community alignment. One of them is like we hold each other accountable for our values and our values of helping each other and being nice. And it's pretty much just don't be mean. I do see the world pretty black and white sometimes of like there's good and evil people in the world, and I want to foster goodness. I don't know. Also my moderators are fantastic, and my moderators, I always, when people come in asking me about my gender or even rude, usually we time them out. We say, hey, this isn't really okay, or hey, Oddish is trans and she's a woman. And we give them, I always like to give people second chances, because hate is normalized, like it's especially on the internet, people are kind of, it's just kind of expected that the default, I mean, my train of thought got derailed a little bit, but anyway, it's so normal to be mean to each other, like the top streamers are like these really salty, rude, bad-mouthing people most of the time anyway, and that's kind of a reflection of our society, I think. And people might not know that that's not okay in my stream. It's that we actually do things differently here, and we're good to each other.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't know that you're very hands-on with your moderators, and you kind of guide the way that you would like people to be treated if they were to speak out negatively. You kind of lead that charge and say, this is how I would like you to respond to it. This is how I would like you to handle it. And I think that has really shaped, because it's coming from your voice. These folks who are volunteering their time to moderate your stream are speaking for you in that way. And I really enjoy seeing how that has evolved over time, because, like I could tell you, I am a kind of an honorary moderator in Steph's stream. I don't get a chance to do it a lot, but she'll get a lot of people that will just come in and say man or woman or boy or girl, or even terrible stuff about her genitalia, like which one do you have? And it's the worst. And you watch this and you're just like, and we all kind of just, the mods are just like, rawr, like we just want to, just say, get out if you're going to be so rude. And she will say to us as moderators, I want you to give them a chance. Give them one chance.
Yeah, just take the air out of their sails a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that's, I mean, trolls get their jollies from getting under people's skin. And if you treat their attack as like, oh no, actually it's just, you just inform them, like, hey, it's all good, you're good, and it kind of takes them down a notch or two sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's always good to give them that chance to, like, oh yeah, I guess I was kind of a jerk. I wouldn't walk up to somebody on the street and go, boy or girl. Like, you just don't do that. Like, you don't do that. Let's just like, I'd be like, what? That's not how we treat people in civilized society. So
apparently on Twitch, that's a lot of times what people do, which is, I don't understand it, where they just literally have to know. They have to know if they
tell me your personal business.
Yes.
I need to know.
And
I need to know so I can watch you play online video games.
Yeah, I need to know so I can know if I'm going to be able to date you. Like, no.
It is the worst, and I mean, I've seen different Twitch streamers do different things when it comes to how their moderators function. And Steph is very much hands-on when it comes to shaping the community, which is really kind of, the community is yours and you are very, very involved in what it means and who they are and what they do. And, you're not afraid to just say to someone, yo, slow down, slow your roll a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the moderators are an extension of my message, right?
Yeah.
Like you've said.
Mm-hmm. So, is there any other tips that you can provide to a streamer who maybe is out there and just starting out in how to engage and interact with their community?
I found Discord to be super useful for me, even though I'm not a very active member of my own Discord, unfortunately. Just to see the ability for the chat to kind of continue a little bit outside of the stream, and for people to get to talk and get to know each other more is really fun. And I think makes it, then when the stream starts again, these people know each other a little bit, like you've gotten to know Elfinari or Snapfar or Flacker, these people. sorry to call y'all out, but you find out that the names have a rich personality between. Oh man!
Suddenly, we wind up getting a little bit of spam.
You should toss a sword to Flacker and Elfinari.
I'm gonna do that.
If you could. Are we getting raided?
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry.
The joy of live broadcasting, ladies and
Right?
gentlemen.
I know. It's so much fun.
Thank you for the views. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.
All right, our mods are now Flacker and Elfinari as well. You guys are the best.
Nice.
Have fun. These and this is what happens, unfortunately. This is, and it happens sometimes in Steph's chat too. And moderators are life. They are wonderful.
They are.
And
they're so wonderful.
And they give their own time and volunteer to do that. I think one of the things that I've seen too, and so you said before in your Discord, you're not a very active member of your Discord. I don't do that either a ton. Like, I will answer questions in Discord for people who are talking, but I want to see my community talking to each other rather than talking to me. Yeah. Is that how you feel like that? Like that too?
I feel the same way. Yeah. No, I think it's wonderful. Like I'm attracting people to my stream, but it doesn't have to be all about me. They can, if they form relationships and bonds with each other, like that's magical to me. Like that's really cool. Whether or not that they even stay with me or not, I've brought two people together that have become friends, and it's really cool.
Yeah, it's powerful, isn't it? Sorry.
And like you said, like attracts like. So the conversations I see go on the Triple T Discord are amazing because Jules and I can't be in there all the time, and so it's great to see the camaraderie go. Not just in the live, Twitch chat, but we get it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's just really good to see that. So like you said, like attracts like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else that I didn't ask you about from your journey from this past year that you want to share since what's happened or anything of that nature? I feel like I'm just kind of asking you questions as they pop into my head.
I mean, you've done great. You're doing great. No, I've just been rolling. I'm starting to do the getting partnered was amazing. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to do the circuit. I'm trying to go to all sorts of PAX things. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be at Heroes of the Dorm.
Awesome.
Which is awesome.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I'm so jealous.
All sorts of things.
So jealous. I really wanted to go. You'll have to have an amazing time for everybody. And lots of pictures and lots of stories. And I should also ask you, too, you are still looking for a team, correct?
I am. Currently. Yes. I'm still a free agent. Team stuff is pretty difficult for me right now because the normal hours for a high-end amateur team is 6 hours of scrims a day, 5 or 6 days a week, which is a lot of time to commit off stream to. But on the other side, I keep getting better at the game. That's the best way for me to get better at the game is to do scrims,
Right?
Because then I'm not distracted by the chat. I mean, I love my chat, but it's, that's the problem. I'm always looking
you just gotta
over,
concentrate.
and I want to talk to them, and I'm having a good time when I'm on stream. But in scrims, I get to bring out my introverted side of my personality and really try hard and focus. And that's the environment where I learn and grow the most as a player.
Definitely.
And it's to see your growth as a player from the last year has been incredible, because coming in every time you're like, I'm still getting better, you guys, and then you're hitting Grandmaster 6 as you were a couple of days ago. We're not going to talk about the last couple days.
No.
But
yep. 2 days ago, I was Grandmaster number 6.
That's correct.
Since
and that
then,
is,
I don't know what happened.
right. It's a reportable instance. We had pictures of it. It happened. But my point being is that you've worked really, really hard to improve your skill and to continue to, you're playing so much every single day to keep on getting better. And it's been wonderful to watch. To watch you improve your skill and become so much better, because I know your dream is to be on that stage for HGC, and I know there are hundreds of other people, including myself, who want to be able to cheer for you in that audience. So keep that dream going, girl.
Yeah, I'm still chasing
Definitely.
it. Still chasing it.
So are you feeling up to taking care of a listener question from one of our own?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. I'm going to play a little bumper. We'll read the question, and Steph has heard this one already, but you guys haven't. So here we go. Oh, wrong one.
Tauren between options? Let Triple T help you sort it out.
I hit the wrong bumper. As this show is called Tauren Think Tank, it is Think Tank time. It's a question from our audience, one of our own, who has written to us for some help. And Steph is here to help us with this particular question because it is coming from a transgender woman. After spending a decade in a cycle of self-hate and depression, I finally started embracing my gender and sexual identity and came out as a trans lesbian. I told everyone, friends and family, coworkers, even Facebook. Sound familiar, Steph? The reactions I got were extremely supportive in general. But then there was my raid. At the time, I was raiding with Banana Republic of Convert to Raid. My sexuality has absolutely nothing to do with us killing bosses. So really, did it matter? I mean, I guess to me it does. Being a lesbian is a huge part of my life. To me, a raid is more than just people to kill bosses with. They are my friends, my extended family, and I'm not ashamed of who I am anymore, lol. So I didn't want to hide it from them either. And what about my gender identity? Obviously a huge part of who I am, but I really didn't know how to come out to them. So I let it sit, and I tried to ignore it. That, needless to say, didn't go well. Every time I would hear he, him, his, it would send my dysphoria and depression off the rails. My raid performance was suffering, and raid was starting to become a time I dreaded. I honestly considered leaving the team and heading over to Proudmoore server. But in the end, I decided to post a coming out message on our GroupMe server. The reception was fantastic. Our tank, Scarlet, already knew. She's friends with me on the Book of Faces. So she had my back the whole way. Pronoun slip-ups happened a lot, but they were trying, and that's all that mattered. Everything was great. And then I moved to a new state in a new time zone that made raiding with them impossible. Now I play my rogue Black Widow with 9 to Midnight raid team. They are super friendly, but once again, nobody knows I'm trans or a lesbian. The pronouns are getting to me again. I know I need to come out for my own good, but they don't really have anything like GroupMe. We started a Discord, but almost nobody is active on it. I tried updating my profile pic to the new beautiful feminine me, but it hasn't helped, and I don't think anyone even noticed. If I could afford voice therapy and not sound like a chain-smoking truck driver, that would help. I so envy your voice, Jules. I guess I need to bite the bullet and say it over Mumble or in Raid Chat. I just wish there was an easy way to identify or out myself. I wish there was something like an LGBT representation in CTR. No clue what that would be like. I don't know. Maybe a disclaimer or something. I just want to raid and be addressed properly as the woman that I am. Anyway, rant/question over. Do what you like with it, from Black Widow on Airy PQS. So coming out to a raid team. And disclaimer, I am the GM of Convert to Raid. And my stance on the whole thing is, I don't want to have any specific specific designation for anybody LGBT. I just want them to be treated like everybody else. That's my philosophy.
That should go without saying in the just the philosophy of the guild.
Right.
Right.
And I mean, and I'm going to ask you, Steph. I mean, do you think that's wrong? Do you think there is a place that is needed for someone who is trans, for anybody LGBT?
Well, I mean, those places exist. There are like trans-only Discord servers. Private message me if you'd like to figure out what those are, if you want me to send you that way. But really, trans women just want to be seen as women. Like that's the whole fight. That's everything, and it's kind of like we're just human too. We just want to, like you said, we're just treated like everybody else is a victory for us.
Yeah, and that's my philosophy for everything. And we have specific rules for the guild that we will not discriminate based on any gender, race, sexual orientation, anything, religion. We have no tolerance for it. We just don't. Mm-hmm. And so I lump all that in together. Now, I absolutely understand that there needs to be comfort level and representation. But for me, I literally will be like, if she were on my raid team, I would be like, you know what? Thank you for correcting me. I'm sorry I didn't know. And make sure you tell me if I slip up, because that's important to me too.
Yeah, definitely.
The hardest part about, coming out is difficult. Saying it is so difficult. Just being like, hey, I'm a girl. If you could please use she, her pronouns. That's tough. And the author of the letter is right that like voice is very important as well. But you don't need voice like therapy or training or surgery most of the time to get a passing female voice. And there are resources online and a lot of guides for trans women to help with voice. I also struggle with voice. I feel like my voice, I'm happy with my voice now, and I've worked on it and I've improved after I came out. But it's still the thing that clocks me the most on stream. I feel like it's what outs me as transgender very, very often. I've
seen that too, like where people will actually make comments of that nature. Well, when you say you practice your voice, what does that mean?
Well, so it's a little bit hard to explain, but women speak from higher. It's kind of like they're less from their chest and more from their upper throat, and like head, and that is the change in resonance that is big for passing as female. And it's a good thing to get used to is trying to project from higher up instead of lower. So a lot of people think that pitch is the most important, but really it's the resonance. And then higher pitch helps a lot. But if you go too high, you have this weird like falsetto, and that then it kind of sounds a little bit strange or forced. Yeah. But really good practice is going like Mickey Mouse voice, like trying to be like forcing it. If you force it, then that's what you should be doing in the car if you're practicing, actually, because then you're working those muscles. And then when you lower that pitch, you can get it to a comfortable range without that falsetto.
Yeah. Yeah, and Faye is in our chat room as well. Faye is also a trans woman, and she streams. She talks a lot about how she has changed her voice and has worked on her voice as well. And if you listen to Faye, you would not be able to tell. Like, she has worked really hard on it.
Oh yeah, no, Faye's voice is goals. And actually, I asked Faye for advice on this question before the podcast. And she sent me a few thoughts, most of which I just relayed. But yes.
Yes, and Faye, I'm gonna touch base with you too, my dear, because I have a great amount of respect for you, and I think that there's a lot going on that you can teach people. But for someone who is cis, it's very difficult to understand, and it's very difficult to know what you do, and what what you're faced with every day. And for Black Widow, there's a stress. So you can hear it in the tone of her email. There's a stress about being clocked. And she hasn't even come out yet. So do you get over that stress?
No, unfortunately. I mean, as my life has gotten a lot easier after a year on hormones, I'm very, very privileged to be passing almost all the time, which makes me feel safe, which is the primary, success of passing. What's best about passing is feeling safe. Because really, I would love to. I believe in a world where it doesn't matter what your appearance is, who you are is inside. But appearance and voice matters for passing, and passing is safety. I got distracted.
That's okay.
What was the question?
So do you ever feel like, does it ever get less stressful? Feeling like, and I think that you answered that.
Yeah, but actually it's much easier to introduce yourself as your gender when you first meet someone than it is to build a relationship where they think you're one gender, and then you come out of the closet to them and you explain to them your real gender. That's all. Then it gets confusing to them, and it's difficult.
For her situation, they have an impression that she's male. Right. And so what tips do you have when for someone who is trying to encourage that mindset change? Because I know that's got to be, for people who have an impression, to break it.
So, pronouns are contagious is like a big thing. And so the best thing, I think, is to have one ally that helps you and genders you correctly a lot. And if you have one person on stream that kind of borderline forces it, I've asked friends to do that. I have a significant other that's huge, helping me with that sometimes. With my parents, with groups of new friends, especially when I was first just coming out. She would me a lot. She, her, fit it into conversation as much as organically possible. And that helps other people pick up on that, and other people practice and hear it, and it reinforces it in their head. So if she could find a best friend to come out to first in her new raid group, and then you have someone that is going to protect you.
Yes.
And then you come out to the larger group, and the person and your protector reaffirms and supports your gender, is, I think, the best way to go about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have an advocate, an ally, somebody who is really, really speaking to. I don't want to use the word shame, but it makes people feel bad when they make a mistake on it. Like, they want to. Oh crap, I didn't mean to do that, if someone is demonstrating it on that front. But it's got to be hard. I think about this a lot. I met you when you had transitioned already. You were she, her pronouns. I never knew you with any other gender.
Right.
And there are a lot of people who knew you before you are now. how does that, like, your parents, your family, how hard is that to like constantly remind or say, no, she please, or her?
It's really hard. It's so much that I almost never correct people.
Really?
Because I feel like it hurts the conversation, that kind of thing. I mean, or I do later, or but also I kind of leave conversations that I'm not gendered correctly because I don't feel safe. If someone uses him pronouns on me, I feel like they don't get me, they aren't supporting me, they don't see me, they're antagonizing me even when they do that. So I kind of pull back. I go into defense mode immediately.
Yeah.
It makes sense. And, because at this point, if you've explained it and it continues, the behavior continues, then it does feel like it is intentional or antagonistic or disrespectful.
Right.
In all of that.
But I guess I should clarify. Sometimes when people gender me wrong, I would say I'm a girl. Like I would say I'm a girl because I feel like that's that would also kind of be the cis response because my gender is pretty obvious to me. And it's like, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So coming out and saying, sorry, I'm a girl to someone when they call you a guy or him is, there's nothing wrong with that, Black Widow. I'm saying this to you. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being upfront and just, and people will make mistakes. I told this story a couple of months ago. I went home to visit my family back in December. And my cousin, who is 17, had just recently had announced that she was trans, going from female to male, and trying to use I'm doing it again, to use his name, because I've known him as Nicole for his entire life, and he's now going by Nick. And I had a conversation with my 86-year-old grandmother, who very, very stuck in her ways in most of life, Christian or Catholic, very religious. And she said to me, when he told me what he has decided is right for his life, I said, honey, no matter what you decide, I will always love you. It doesn't matter what your gender is. And I was just sitting there like, I've got tears streaming down my face because my grandmother is saying this. And it was still very difficult for even a lot of us because we had known him as a girl for 17 years. And I can't imagine being in a position where you've grown up with people and known them, and but they've never really known you until now. Like, they don't know you, they don't see you until now. But if there's someone out there who is listening who is questioning if they're trans, not sure, what would you say to them at this point?
I mean, oh man, that's it's very difficult. It varies from person to person.
It does.
I would say find trans role models, talk to them, have conversations with them. A huge part of me thinks that if you're questioning that you're trans, you probably are, because there's lots of barriers in this world keeping trans people from coming out and keeping trans people from finding themselves, and there's a lacking of positive role models. So, if you're questioning, or like in my dreams, whenever I would make believe at all as a child, I was always female. And even then, I was dense to the fact that I was transgender. We have these obvious... trans people have a lot of... Words are hard. Also, therapist. Finding a therapist is very, very important. And having someone to talk to. There's a stigma about therapy, but really, even if you're cis, think you're normal and fine, everyone can benefit from a therapist. And I really think there's too much stigma about that.
Oh, yeah.
We are strong supporters of therapy on this show. Like, it is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if everything in your life, you've never had a tragedy. There's stuff that's going on in your head that therapists can help you work through, because no matter what, like, you've had childhood traumas, you've had things that have like changed your personality to affect how you go through, but it is so much even more strong for someone who is transitioning or has transitioned, because you're living in a world where people are already not understanding you.
Right.
In general, including yourself.
And I also had an existential fear of knowing myself better.
Ooh.
I was afraid that, like, maybe ignorance is bliss and I shouldn't go down this road. But knowledge is power. Always. Always. It'll be okay. If you're afraid of exploring that part of yourself, it's worth it to take a look. It's worth it to go down that road, because you'll become a stronger person because of it.
Yeah. So your advice to Black Widow is definitely find yourself an ally, an advocate, someone that you can come out to privately first.
And yes. And also difficult and practice voice, because you can do it. I believe in you. No matter whatever voice you've started with. I've heard amazing voice transformations without any surgeries or like professional help. It takes practice and commitment, and a space where you can find alone to test and work these things out.
Yeah, definitely. Your voice is an instrument. It's just like any other musical instrument, and you need time, you need to practice, and you need a place to practice. Exactly the same thing. So think of it as a musical instrument. When you're talking about where your voice goes in resonance, it's a lot like any wind instrument, really. You've got to find out where the resonance is. You work on the register, and it's like that was a little bit of a tangent, but for me playing trombone, if I want to play really, really high notes, then people try to pinch their lips to make it smaller, make the airway smaller, but that's not how you do it, because you'll stress your embouchure, and you'll tear your voice, like I've torn my lips before, to where I couldn't play for months because I was playing high and loud and all that. Mm-hmm. It's about resonance, about air speed, not pinching it. You have to use the chambers that you already have. And so when trying to do these higher pitches, you have to support it with the air as well. So I think it's a really good, the way you explained it was very good. And the way that it kind of, any wind instrument player out there, I see there's some fellow trombone players in the chat.
It's awesome.
So yeah,
that's awesome.
It's really cool. So yeah, just think of your voice as a musical instrument, and you're just trying to change the range that you've got, and you can do it. Like, I play bass trombone, but I can play up in the trumpet register, or I used to when I played a whole lot, because you practice.
It's all
so make
about
sure
practice.
you it's all about practicing. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. So that's what you got to do.
Love it.
Steph, are there any resources for that you can recommend about voice practice, transition for voice, that you know offhand? Or if not, I can talk to you offline and we can send that directly.
Yeah, I think that there's a Reddit community that I think is really good. I'm looking at it for it right now. It's just r/trans voice.
Okay.
And they have resources and guides on their sidebar and that kind of thing. And and you can submit voice clips, and you'll have people that show up and volunteer to help. I haven't used the resource myself, but I've heard it's very good.
Great. Awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else from this letter that you feel we didn't cover? I think we hit pretty much everything on here. I know words are hard today.
I think his words have been so hard today.
I know.
Last few days have been tough. I think so it's tough, because on one hand, coming out to people is like ripping the Band-Aid off, and you don't have to worry about coming out to them anymore. You've done it, and that weight is off your chest. But what keeps you from coming out to people is often the fear that they'll reject you, or they'll think lesser of you, or they won't get it, or there's all this grossness that comes from it. I think with most of the time, what's best for your mental health is to just go for it. To say, I'm a girl. You can even say, I'm a girl, so I have a deep voice. There's been some miscommunication, and like if you gender me correctly. She, her pronouns. And then you kind of have to just kind of sit back and, brace yourself for things to go badly and hope that they don't. But at least then it's off your chest. It's like asking your crush out to a date. The worst you get is rejection, but at least you don't have to think about, you don't have to stress about it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, like I know I don't represent everybody in raid teams, but as long as you can still hold threat, as long as you can still keep me from dying even when I accidentally stand in the stupid, or if you can DPS the boss till it's dead and we all get loot, I don't it's fine by me. I mean, I'm here to raid. I don't it's not, I'm here to raid and have fun. So that's fine. Like for me, I don't it doesn't bother me at all. I mean, as long as we're in here to do what we're there to do, let's go.
Yeah.
Like that's fine by me. Let's go.
I love that attitude, and I'd even say that a trans person that's finally out and getting gendered correctly is going to have less stress on their shoulders and is going to be a better player because of it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
When the water rises, all boats float.
Yep.
And and I speak for the guild itself. If anyone was ever at any point discriminatory or harassing, I would make sure that was taken care of immediately, because I don't stand for that, and none of us do. And so we, and as Oddish put earlier, like attracts like. We attract people to this guild who are just very kind and good people who don't give a crap about whether or not they don't give a crap. They just want to play, and who you are is who you are, and that is important. Like, that's how I live my life. Who you are, as long as you are not a jerk, as long as you do not hurt other people, you're okay with me. And as soon as you go out there and you hurt others and you cause each other pain, cause other people pain or discrimination or anything like that, I don't want anything to do with you. So that is how we function, and we know that we will protect you, all of that. And that goes for anybody who comes to our guild. It comes for anybody who enters Oddish's stream. It comes to anybody who, wants to find a community that just cares about each other. And, we're not always going to get along with each other. We're not always going to like each other, but we're always going to be respectful of each other.
And put in the effort, because respect and empathy it requires effort.
It does.
To be good to each other. And we're kind of all saying that effort is worth it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Exactly.
And we're not trying to recruit anybody, but faction transfers, guild server transfers, they're all 25% off right now on Battle.net. So if you guys and gals have been waiting for a chance to join CTR, now's a chance to save a little coin and join the ranks.
Steph, you want to start playing WoW again?
I mean, I would love to raid with y'all.
Right? We would have so much fun raiding. Our team that we have is a bunch of goofballs. My gosh.
Oh, yeah.
We're so funny. I just lost my train of thought completely. That was
You're welcome.
Tremendously helpful. And Black Widow is in our chat room tonight. And I hope that this has been helpful for you as well, my dear. And please let us know if you have any feedback or any updates as well. If you decide to come out to your raid team, we would very much like to know, and we will pass that information along to Steph as well. So that
Also my private messages are always open on Discord and on Twitter. If you want to message me and tell me about your life story or for quick advice, or I really want to be supportive and helpful, and I'd love to hear from you, Black Widow, if you have further questions.
Yes, absolutely. And she is also available on Twitter at Steph Oddish, and those DMs are also open. So you can contact her either on Discord or on Twitter for questions as well. We are going to do our shout outs, our /moos chat room. We're going to introduce you to this as well if you're an Oddite and you don't know about the slash moo. The slash moo is a shout out to anybody that you want to give some love to. You just do a slash moo to whoever it is. So you get some time to catch up with that while we play the bumper, and we'll read the ones that we have right now. So we start out with Crushinator, who says, slash moo to my awesome fiance for not only securing a new job back in her field, but also negotiating a starting bump in pay. Couldn't be happier for her.
Oh, yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah. And also from Magic Myth Mayhem, slash moo to the sun, because now when I'm done with class, I don't have to walk home in the dark. Here comes the sun.
Oh, I love that so much. The sun doesn't set until like 7:30. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So amazing. We got one from Battle Panda, slash moo to Lita. Our friend Lita. Good luck with your job interview.
Here.
Yes, most definitely. 2020 site, you want to read the one from the chat room, Marconin?
Sure. 2020 site said slash moo to @FroggyChaos for doing the hard thing and being true to herself.
Yes, and Elfin Dreams, one of Oddish's community members, says slash moo to Black Widow, who is also Froggy Chaos in the chat room. Congratulations, you have exposed everyone to the range of names that you have. Number one,
yep.
And also, if anybody from your raid team is listening, well, they know now.
Yeah, I was about to say. Also, we've got another slash moo from Flacker328. Slash moo to Oddish for bringing us all together.
Absolutely. She is a force. She really is a force to be reckoned with. This girl, I'll tell you. There's a charismatic vibe that comes out of Oddish that is something that just draws people to her. And she's like a nucleus. She just draws people in to her world, and then you watch people start to meet each other within her circle, and it's a really fascinating and wonderful thing to see. And if you're ever in her presence, her energy is beyond off the charts. Like, she gives the best hugs too.
Oh, I'm blushing.
I got a chance to really spend some time with you at PAX South. We had dinner together. We talked for a really long time while we were waiting for dinner. And it was awesome for me. I was just inspiring and passionate and all those things that you really work very, very hard for what you do. And I am so proud of you. I'm proud to call you a friend. I'm proud to be within your community as well and watch you grow. And it's been a wonderful thing. It's been an awesome thing. We've got more slash moves that are popping in as I'm preaching.
We do.
So I won't embarrass Steph anymore.
That's so great.
From Froggy Chaos slash moo to @SummerSal for having the awesome converted show that got me to bring up this subject and for pushing me towards Triple T.
Yes, that was all about Sal, man. Sal, I love you, girl. Thank you for pointing Black Widow to us, and hopefully we have helped out in that way, because that's what we want to do. M Palindrome slash moo to the greatest group of people I've had the opportunity to get to know. Looking at you, beautiful Oddites.
Palindrome. I'd like to give a quick slash moo to Palindrome for donating this outfit to me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there you go.
Gorgeous
This
outfit, by the way.
Was
Nice.
a hand-me-down from Palindrome herself.
Awesome.
That's awesome. It's a really cool Aztec pattern top that she's wearing, and is it the leggings too?
Yeah, can you zoom out?
No, I can't on mine.
Right, well.
But you stand on your chair. She's got awesome galaxy leggings too.
Anyway,
oh my gosh.
Oh, that's cool.
They're really sweet.
Steph dresses so damn cute.
Yeah,
I can't
it's really
even.
good.
She's the cutest thing.
I lost audio for a sec.
And Draven Dresden says, slash moo to my aunt for still being in good spirits despite a medical condition forcing leg amputation. I'm so sorry.
Good.
I hope she's doing okay.
And
go ahead, let's one there.
Okay, yeah, we've got the last one is also from Froggy Chaos. Slash moo to Jules. You're not supposed to do that. Slash moo to Jules for getting Oddish on here for me. Maybe it wasn't just me, but it feels like it.
Well, it was for you,
It
but
was-
you know the rule in this chat room and this stream is that you're not supposed to slash moo Mark Conan or I. It's meant for other people, but we'll allow it.
We'll allow it this time.
She's like, I'm a rule breaker. Yes, you are a rule breaker. No, I needed a really good excuse to get Oddish back anyway, and this was the perfect way to do it. So
It just worked out.
It worked out perfectly. So I was super stoked. It was like the heavens waited for us to come through. So, Steph, I want to thank you for coming. I know it's been a long day for you, and I like streamed all day and then coming on the show after that. You're incredible. I love you, and thank you for imparting your wisdom to our audience once again.
Oh, well, thank you, Jules. You are amazing. I would love to be on your show again. This was a lot of fun.
Anytime.
Yeah, I had a long day, but like this was a good time.
Good.
So thank you for having me, and
Yes.
it was a pleasure, Mark Conan as well.
It's always a pleasure to have you.
Also to see you this time. Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm glad. I'm glad you guys get to see me this time too.
Yeah, Mark Conan's video didn't work the last time, so that was the weirdest thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're just looking at it like, what was it? My big gnome face that I had on there.
Yeah, it
Last
was
time?
pretty cute. It was
Yeah. I clean up nice when I'm a gnome.
And finally, a big slash moo to our entire community. The Triple T community is amazing. And thank you to all the Oddites who came tonight to watch. You guys were amazing, came out in droves. We're so happy to see you all supporting your girl. And with that, we're going to bring the show to a close, and we do it like this every time. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
Portions of the music and sound effects heard on this show can be found at incomputech.com and freesound.org. You can find us outside of the show on our website. That's tarnthinktank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us, too. If you ever wanted some Triple T merchandise, well, we've got some good news for you. We've got some merch again. You can get some t-shirts, sweatshirts, get some mugs, phone cases, notebooks, laptop cases, and more. All you got to do is go to tarnthinktank.com/store.
Thank you to all who support our show via Patreon. If you'd like to help out Triple T, you can do so at patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank. You can meet other members of the Triple T community who are amazing by joining our Discord server as well. The quick way to get there is tinyurl.com/TTTchat2.
You can like us on Facebook as well at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. You can find us at 140 characters or less on Twitter for the show at TaurenThinkTank. You can find Jules at JulesRPG, and myself, Mark Conan, at Mark Conan Wow. And Oddish, where can they find you on Twitter?
At Steph Oddish.
And her Twitch stream, which is where you can find her Monday through Friday, 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern. It's twitch.tv/OddishPlaysGames. It is awesome. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, chat room, for being with us tonight, hanging out every Thursday night at 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time. You can find us at the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/TaurenThinkTank, our mobile audio through Alpha Geek Radio at tunein.alphageekradio.com. Steph, thank you so much.
Thank you all so much as well.
Have a great stream tomorrow. I will be hanging out to say hi. Mark Conan, thank you for another wonderful show. We'll see you guys next week.
Absolutely, Jules.
Absolutely.
It's great having you on, Oddish. We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. For myself, for Mark Conan, for Steph, for the entire chat room. Until next time. /moo, everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
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 Really? We're done!
And
Oddites, thank you guys so much. I know I don't get a chance to talk to you guys a lot when Oddish is streaming, but I know all your names because I see you in the chat room. I'm usually working while she's streaming. You guys are incredible, and thank you guys so much for coming tonight. It means a ton to us.
yeah,
And
it
I
really
noticed
does. Thank
Steph
you for
too.
coming. And Paco the Sage, I did actually do some. I used to work at an NPR station, not the NPR station, but In college, I worked in college radio, and we were an NPR station. So I did do ads, but they were local, so you probably didn't hear them.
But if you haven't
really
heard,
cool.
Marconin does a lot of voice impressions as well. I'm putting you on the spot, dude.
Jeez.
I know, geez. So,
man.
but he does a killer. Well, which one do you want to do? Troll. You want to do Draenei? What are you feeling?
Well, I think I can do maybe a couple of them because, it is very easy to switch between two, especially if you're going to the gnome voice. You just got to get right up there. I mean, it's really close to SpongeBob at that point. There's like the SpongeBob gnome voice that I do, and then there's the actual like the whole gnome guy. He's like, oh shoot, he's like, I forgot the lines that he says. I always think about, I can't carry anymore.
Oh, that guy.
Inventory's full. Like, inventory is full. I need more mana.
He's so good. He's so good, and we've done.
Did someone call for the doctor?
Wait, I have. Okay, so
Dingo,
do that again.
yes.
Do the doctor one. Do the doctor one.
Did someone call for the doctor?
Okay, here, chat room.
Someone call for the doctor.
Compare that.
That
You guys
kinda
can't
close.
hear it, but it's pretty close.
It's really, really good. That's just how I remember it.
Yes.
I love doing those voices too.
It's cool. It's really
It's so much fun when we do. Look at them. They're just catching up. Which one was the recording? All right, here's Mark Honan. Do it again. On the spot.
Someone call for the doctor?
Someone call for the doctor.
It's something. I really love doing voice acting, though. It's really I like to do that because that was my dream when I was little, to be a voice actor. So doing voices and impressions was something I always did. So it's just, I like it because I get to do that.
Baco.
That's funny.
I swear it's on my soundboard, dude.
Yeah. Well,
Sure.
Stop poking me.
We could bring him on and just do requests for the night. Well, and we do this at every PAX South. I put him on the spot and I make him do this, and he taught me the right way for the man who plays Alfred in the Batman series, the actor.
the Dark Knight one.
The Dark Knight one. Michael Caine. To say his name in his accent.
Yeah, the trick is you just say the words "my cocaine." Yeah. Hello, my name is my cocaine.
Yeah, Michael Caine.
My cocaine.
Amazing.
I feel like I failed you, Master Bruce.
But he can do
My
the whole
cocaine.
thing, and I'm like, no, that's
Yeah.
not how it works.
It's just that's one of the little tricks of the trade, I guess. I heard that once, and then it just stuck with me.
Oh, we're just gonna entertain the chat room all day.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious. Yes. All right. I think it is time for us to say goodnight. Let Steph get some rest. Let us get this show posted. And the show will post tonight, and it will go. I'll put a link on Twitter as well, and you guys can see it there if you want to share it around as well. So
Absolutely.
yes,
Yeah.
Steph, thank you again. Enjoy your evening, and we're gonna say goodbye to the stream. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for being here. And
See you later, folks. Thanks for dropping by tonight. It was good to have you.
we'll see you next time. /moo, everybody.
Cash moo, guys.